Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So right now my Nicki Minaj 2021 career reading is uploading. So you guys had all the same questions about Nicki in regards to Cardi's career going forward. Is she gonna get any more Grammys? Does she participate in Payola? Is she going to be successful with her next album? You know, what do we got to look forward to with Cardi B? So we are going to take a look at her. So Spirit, please join us and answer any questions that we have in regards to Cardi B, aka Bel Khali's. What do we need to know in regards to Cardi B's career coming up in 2021? Her next album. Is she gonna win any more Grammys? Does she participate in Payola? What do we need to know in regards to Cardi B's career? Thank you, Spirit, for joining us and answering. If there isn't anything that we don't get in this reading, you guys, because I know some of you are partying and you won't watch the last videos, you might have missed it, but I was saying, because I have done multiple readings on both Nicki and Cardi on their career and things, so if you don't see like a specific question answered, go back and watch those, because Spirit doesn't like overly repeating the same information all the time. So it might have came up in the last reading instead of this one. All right. Okay, so with Cardi, the same way that we saw her work with, you know, a lot of women for the WAP video, we're actually gonna see a lot more women showing up in her next album too. So Cardi's actually gonna be working with a lot of women. We're gonna be really surprised at who some of them are that she ends up collabing with. There's definitely gonna be, you know, like some of the Latin influence and things like that on there. This album is going to be like a different sound for her as well. There's a little bit more of the Latin influence, a little bit more of the Caribbean influence is going to be in her music, because like if you notice, a lot of times when you are watching like Cardi on live, or you see videos of her, like, you know, where other people repost like stuff from her, usually that's what her and her family are listening to at home, and that is her musical preferences. So Spirit's talking about her showcasing more of herself. So in this High Priestess energy, it's about her really like coming forward from a soul perspective and showing more of who Cardi actually is inside, with the Sun card energy attached to it. So it's gonna bring her a lot of more fans, because she's going to actually like, you know, be, because I mean, like, there's people that like in the Hispanic and like Caribbean communities, like Spirit saying that they're like, oh, like, we're proud of Cardi, like, being from where we're from and representing and this and that, but like she doesn't make music that they still want to listen to so much. So it's like she is capturing more of a different like variety of audience by bringing in different sounds and things to this next album. There is like a tendency right now for her, she sort of goes back and forth between being very like ready to like start to like really like, you know, get everything finalized on this next album and to get ready to release it with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, but then she starts to kind of like scare herself. Like she has her moments where she's so worried that like, oh my God, nobody's gonna like it. I don't know if I'm ready for this. So she pulls back from the actual like career and starts focusing way too much on her relationship instead. And so until she conquers that fear, she's not going to completely walk away from her relationship with Offset, because he is sort of a toxic security blanket for her. But, you know, it's talking about Cardi always does worry, like, you know, am I ready for, like, this actual, like, success? Am I ready to actually, like, go through all this stuff again? Because her being criticized so much, like, on the first album and, like, around that time, and people, like, sort of choosing sides and all this stuff that came with it, it actually did take a deeper toll on her than we imagined, you know, because she actually was really, really sad. So instead of, like, acknowledging all of the good stuff that she was getting, she was so focused on, like, the criticism that she hasn't really been prepared to face that all again yet by herself. So don't be surprised if it's almost like Cardi's next album is like the collab album. And it's like almost every song is like somebody else is on it in one way or another, because she still feels that need to, like, have this security blanket of, okay, well, you have a fan base too, so, like, if people like Megan, you know, then they'll like the song because they like Megan. Like, she doesn't give herself enough credit that sometimes people like stuff because it's just you, Cardi. So let's see. Spirit, does Cardi B use Payola? Spirit, does Cardi B use Payola? And I'll tell you this too, you guys. She doesn't want to release anything at the same time that, like, somebody like a Nicki Minaj would be releasing their album. Not because of like even the comparisons, or like, oh, like, it would be embarrassing if you sold more than I did. It's that I don't want everybody to stir up some kind of beef between us again, or to think that, like, oh, like, if I said something on my album, maybe I was thinking about that day that I was pissed off at my sister because I found out she, like, borrowed my purse without asking. So I said, you know, bitches just be taking everything they want these days. I didn't mean it towards Nicki. Like, I was just mad, you know, or whatever. And I don't want people to think the same thing about that, because that becomes the whole focus, and then we don't get credit for what we actually did. Like, it's just all about the, like, oh, well, what did she do now, and who's mad and who isn't. And it's like, we have whole entire other things for you guys to be paying attention to, like, not that. So Spirits, can we use Payola, yes or no? Thank you, Spirits. Does Cardi B use Payola? Okay. Yes, but not how we think. So the Knight of Wands is talking about that, yes, there is manipulation that went on behind, you know, her and her creative endeavors and the things that she has gotten. But she didn't know about it. So until, like, people really started talking about it, because she's like, she wrote a contract, obviously, with this Ace of Swords and this Justice card, that she didn't know what was in it, and it locked her into, you know, a whole situation. And so it's like, I didn't know, like, my record label, like, actually does do Payola, and they did all this stuff. Like, I genuinely thought people were just really excited to, like, get to know me and see what I was putting out there. But now she got stuck in a situation, because she was saying, like, no, they're not doing that, because she believed they weren't. That by the time that she found out they were, like, what do you can't say yes now, because then everybody's gonna be like, see, you're a liar. So she just sort of has to, I mean, because if you don't notice, like, Cardi sort of, she never, like, she addresses it, but she doesn't really address it now. Like, at least that I haven't noticed, I don't pay a ton of attention to Cardi. Like, usually it just gets reposted somewhere else and I see it. But, you know, usually it's like, oh, people don't want to, like, acknowledge when I do something or something, but I won Woman of the Year. But she's not saying, like, oh, like, you guys can't, that's not Payola, or, like, directly mentioning Payola, right? So, Spirit, how will Cardi's next album do? Will it do well? Thank you, Spirit, for joining us. Will Cardi B's next album do well? And how are you guys all doing as we transition to today into the age of Aquarius? If you guys wanted to get your chart done to understand like how this is gonna affect you, you know, being in this new energy, and just to understand your chart overall, highly recommend Lamar Townsend Tarot. I'm gonna book mine with him as well, because he explains it in a way that makes sense. He doesn't overcharge you. He's, you know, really humble and easy to talk to. Like, he's not, like, I'm actually getting a reading from Lamar tomorrow too, so I'm excited. But I just, you know, because I'm not an astrologer, and I know people always ask questions about that, and we all have questions about how is this going to influence things for me personally. So it's always a good idea to check in with somebody who, you know, knows how to do that stuff. And I'll come back later on, you guys, and link his information in the comments. But it's Lamar Townsend Tarot on YouTube as well as on Instagram. So it's not gonna do as great as she's hoping it's going to, you guys. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, because like, this has been a big topic. I actually had this conversation with two different psychic friends, Kaylin and Lamar, recently, about discernment and understanding where your energy is suited best. And I've always said this about Cardi B, that I always felt like she's much more of an entertainer, and like, she's somebody that if she would have joined, you know, a show like The View or The Talk or The Real or whatever, like, those shows would like blow up, because she has the personality. I just don't really feel her having longevity in the music business, but that's okay. Like, honestly, I feel like Cardi can be the younger, hipper, more relatable version of J-Lo, where J-Lo kind of does everything and she just does what she wants to and has interest in, and is like, it's fun for her, you know, like, but Cardi will really make sure it's fun for her, because a lot of times J-Lo, it's about like, you know, she has that Leo pride, so it's a vanity project, or it's all about the money that she's getting from it. But Cardi would just pick stuff that's fun for her, you know, because we're Libras. Like, we can't do stuff that we're not interested in. It's definitely, her album is not going to do great, you guys, because there's this Justice card here with this 5 of Swords and the 7 of Wands, and there's this 2 of Swords here as the final outcome. Like, she's not going to expect, like it's really going to hurt her, you guys. I hate to say that. Like, I really feel Cardi's feelings being hurt at the way that things end up going with this next album, because I feel like critics, you know, they're either can't take Payola or just actually are just not into it. I feel like they're gonna feel like a lot of the stuff that she did on it was kind of stunty. It's just, I just don't see it being like that big of a thing that people are really like buying into, you guys. But that creates this death card energy for Cardi, where she's just over it. With the 8 of Pentacles, she's going to be searching for something different to do. With the 8 of Wands, so it is talking about like creating a different career path for herself. but she comes out as an entertainer. And so we will start getting Cardi in movies, talk shows, things like that. I know she's already sort of taking that direction because she has that Facebook Watch series. Expect a lot more of that from Cardi. And I think it's a really cute idea, and I think it's going to work for her, and I think that she's going to really see herself go in a completely different direction with her career after this next album. So I would not, let's see, is Cardi going to get nominated for a Grammy again? I mean, that is the thing that at this point with the Grammys, it's like everybody hates, you know, Cardi's album and say she only sells 10,000 copies, but yet somehow she like gets nominated for Grammy Album of the Year or something. And it's like, wait, what? Like, did we forget Nicki like release stuff? Excuse me. Doesn't Beyonce have something that's eligible? Like, what the hell? Because you just never know with the Grammys now. They're gonna submit something from it, like her record label will, but it's not gonna, she's not going to, you guys. But that's okay, you guys, because Cardi's gonna be so much happier and find such a better fit where she's gonna end up at. Like, just music wasn't supposed to be her thing forever. It was a stepping stone. And it was a way for her to get herself out there and everything. And now she's going to transition to something that she's really great at, that she enjoys a whole lot more. So anyways, guys, I love you all so very much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. I have got to go eat because I have been fasting since yesterday, just working with this energy, and I didn't feel like eating earlier. Now it's starting to get to me, and I'm like, okay, now I'm hungry. So I love you. If you want to book your own personal and private reading with me, all the information will be in the description box below. I also did add the option for you guys to order video readings from me. You will be seeing your own personal and private YouTube link that only you can view. And the same way that I read on celebrities, I will give you your own reading as well. So make sure you check that out on the site. I love you, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.